even more desperate. Well, the issue now, Wolf, and let's be clear, richest people in this country doing phenomenally well, large corporations record-breaking profits. You do not balance the budget in a civilized democratic society on the backs of the most vulnerable. Yes, those people who are doing well, whose effective tax rates are lower than in decades, start paying their fair share of taxes.
But you know, even President Obama is open to some changes on Medicare and Social Security. For example, adjusting what's called the cost of living index so that there's less of an increase every year to deal with inflation or whatever.
President Obama is dead wrong on that issue. He should go back and listen to what he said during his campaign. You go and talk to senior citizens and you say, you know, the COLA that you're getting, it's too generous.
COLA is the cost of living allowance.
Cost of living, it's too generous. They say, you're crazy. For 2 years in a row, when prescription drug costs, healthcare costs were soaring, we didn't get anything. Zero is too generous. Nobody believes that. And again, the poll that I just saw, 70% of Republicans say, do not go in that direction.
But based on, if the Democrats took your position, there would be no compromise with the Republicans because they are adamant they don't want any tax increases.
Then let's be clear. There is a situation where there will be sequestration, which are
the automatic cuts, the triggers.
Military and others, which do not begin, Wolf, until January 2013. And then the American people can make a decision in this election. Which side are they on? Do they believe and agree with Republicans that you give tax breaks to billionaires and you cut Social Security? If I were a Republican, believe me, I would not want to run on that proposal.
So what I hear you saying, and correct me if I'm wrong, Senator, you would rather have what's called the sequestration, the triggers, the automatic cuts beginning in 2013, half defense, half non-defense, rather than some sort of compromise which would deal with entitlement spending like Social Security.
I would rather have no deal than a bad deal. And the deals that I'm hearing, and in all fairness, I'm not on the committee, but what I'm hearing is revenue, maybe we get it from the middle class, maybe a little bit here and there. I'm not impressed by what I'm hearing so far.
But let's talk a little politics for a second while I have you. How enthusiastic or unenthusiastic is the liberal progressive base out there that helped President Obama get elected in 2008 this time around?
Well, I will tell you, President Obama said, vote for me because John McCain wants to cut your Social Security. Now, if Obama comes forward and say, hey, I want to cut your Social Security, how enthusiastic do you think?
He doesn't want to cut Social. He wants to make some changes, though.
No. Wolf, that is called a cut. You know what it would mean? You know what this change CPI means? It means $560 a year when you're 75, starting at 65. It means $1,000 a year when you get to be 85. That, in plain language, in the real world, is called a cut. And so the president, if he were to support that proposal, would be going back on his word. I think the problem that the president has is he ran a brilliant campaign. He inspired a whole lot of people, but people now are nervous. They're not quite sure where he is coming from. He needs to stand up for the working class, the middle class of this country, and say, I am going to protect you.
Having said that, if you look at the Republican field, those 8 Republican candidates out there, I'm sure you're not enthusiastic about any of them.
I am not. But here's the point to be made. I don't think it's made enough in the media. If you look at the ideology of these right-wing Republicans, more tax breaks for the rich, cut Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid, deregulate Wall Street after Wall Street caused this horrendous recession that we're in, more unfettered free trade so we could lose more jobs to China. Do you know how many people believe in that ideology? Maybe 15, 20% max. The real issue is why the Democrats aren't winning by 30 or 40 percentage
why
points.
Aren't they?
Because they're not clarifying the reality that, well, that's their problem. They have got to make it clear they are on the side of the middle class and working class and differentiate themselves from the Republicans. So when the president and other Democrats come forward and say, well, we're thinking about maybe cutting Social Security, average person says, is there a difference between the two?
So you think, and we're almost out of time, but you think the president's been too wishy-washy?
Absolutely. I think the 3 previous agreements that the president and the Democrats negotiated with the Republicans have given the Republicans almost everything they wanted. Now is the time for the Democrats to stand up and say, we are on the side of working families and the middle class. American people, you decide